I've always stayed an even keel with the postseason. I'm down 0-1 in the first round. I was down 3-1 in the finals. So I'm the last guy to ask about how you gonna feel the next couple of days. All right.
All right, man. As I've told you guys in multiple videos, if it's one player I'm not really into doubting, it's definitely LeBron James. Now, does that mean I believe they're going to win the NBA championship? As I told you guys in my prediction video, which is aging kind of bad right now, definitely not. But in this video, I want to detail why leading LeBron in the NBA series, bro, it means absolutely nothing. And it's like time after time after time that proves it. Now, before we get into the video, let me shout out today's video sponsor, a great friend of the channel with a whole new product, Manscaped. Now, today I want to talk to you guys about their brand new clean Lawnmower 4.0. Now, as I've told you guys in the past, the Lawnmower 3.0 was cool because it was waterproof, it did have skin-safe technology to avoid nicks and cuts, and it did have an LED light, which was convenient. But the 4.0 has all of that and major improvements. The 4.0 can be charged wirelessly now with up to 90 minutes per use. Bro, it's gonna take a long time to use 90 minutes of a razor. Like, it's gonna take a minute for that. Also, the 4.0 comes in clutch when you travel with a whole new travel lock. Something every product like this, toothbrushes, all of it, should definitely have. Also, you can choose exactly what length you want to rock down there. Again, big pause. It comes with 5 optimized cutting lengths and 2 additional guards, so you can maneuver exactly what you want to do down there. If you want to try this out for a discounted price and free shipping, use my promo code SWISH or just click the link in my description for 20% off. Big shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring this video and always looking out for my guys' hygiene. Now let's get into this video. 2011 featured probably one of the most controversial MVPs, at least of the last decade. People like myself actually believe Derrick Rose earned that MVP. In fact, I even detailed why in one of my videos last year. And then you have other people that believe LeBron got robbed, and mainly because he went to Miami and they became the villains of the NBA. Well, these two faced off in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it seemed like it was going to be a great competitive ass series. Chicago, they weren't like a laughingstock. They had the best record in the East. They were built off of defense with Tom Thibodeau. Luol Deng was known for his defense and being solid offensively. Joakim Noah had a great defensive reputation. It seemed like a pretty solid matchup. Even in that game 1, Chicago blew Miami out. Derrick Rose looked MVP-like. LeBron, he didn't look the best, bro. He played kind of terrible, and obviously those doubts came with it. But here's where LeBron being down in a series actually being a little bit of a trap. Here's where it kind of starts to me. After that game 1, LeBron played pretty great. Not amazing to his standards, but he played pretty solid. But it's not really about what LeBron did after that game 1 pathetic performance and all that. It was more so about what he stopped the MVP quote unquote from doing. After LeBron took on the challenge of guarding the MVP smaller D Rose, bro, it was good night Irene, bro. It just was. Derrick Rose never really looked like the MVP again, at least in that series. Chicago never won another game, and at least that was the start of LeBron being down in the series, just showing that it doesn't mean a damn thing. Then you fast forward to 2012, LeBron versus this up-and-coming Pacers team with Paul George and Danny Granger and all of them. One of LeBron's most underrated performances in my opinion. We all talk about the Boston Celtics game where they were down 3-2 and LeBron put on a clinic in the Eastern Conference Finals in Game 6. We all know about that. That was pretty much the game that kind of saved his legacy. But this Pacers game saved his legacy before that game saved his legacy. In the 2012 Eastern Conference semifinals, Miami had fell down 2-1 to Indiana, with Indiana having home court in that game 4. Bro, I'm not trying to say LeBron couldn't have come back from down 3-1 against Indiana, but mind you, LeBron wasn't a champion yet and he had just folded against Dallas. If he would have lost that game 4, game 5 would have been the craziest pressure game of his career. But LeBron, I mean, he didn't even let it get to that point, man. Like, he went out in game 4 in Indiana and went crazy and pretty much saved his legacy before that Boston game saved his legacy. Then in that Boston series, as we all know, game 6, being down 3-2 with all the pressure being on your shoulders, a team that you have history with that doesn't really like you, he went out, as we all know, and put together one of the best, if not the best, given the magnitude, one of the best games of his career, and that's just LeBron being LeBron. Then in the finals, bruh, it didn't stop. They lost game 1 to a young, up-and-coming, talented-ass OKC team. Again, LeBron wasn't a champion yet, and this was his 3rd consecutive series actually falling behind. He could have easily let this series slip away, but he didn't. OKC, even being as young, fresh, live, with absolutely no expectations. Nobody cared if KD and them lost that series. They had no expectations. It was all on LeBron. They didn't win another game, and LeBron ultimately won his first championship in just 5 games. Then the Bulls versus the Heat in 2013. Yeah, it was no D-Rose. They never really stood a chance, but they did win game 1. After that, LeBron kind of dissected the rhythm of the series and exactly how they were defending him, and he made the adjustment, and they won in just 5 games again. Then in the NBA Finals, and we all know the Spurs were up 3-2 and Ray Allen hit the shot and all that stuff, and people typically classify that game as the game where Ray Allen saved LeBron's legacy. But one thing I always say, and people call me a LeBron hater because I'm hard on him on Twitter because he flops. Like, bro, I do these videos. How can you call me a LeBron hater? One thing I always say, yes, Ray Allen hit that shot, but never forget who hit the shot to even put Ray Allen in position to hit the shot. After being down 3-2 and being down early in that 4th quarter, LeBron was really the heartbeat that even kept him in that game. And like I said, he hit the shot and had an amazing game 7. You can never take away that finals, bro. You can just never do that. Then the following season, Indiana meets Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals again, but this time Indiana has home court advantage. You can tell they were young, they were up and coming, they were feeling themselves. Lance Stevenson was blowing in LeBron's ear, playing with him and all this, and they won game 1. But after that one game, LeBron won 4 of the next 5, and that was pretty much the end of Indiana as we knew, with Paul George getting injured and all that. Then you go to 2015 in the 2nd round against Chicago. Again, context, it always has to be added. Derrick Rose was back, and he was looking like himself at times. Jimmy Butler was emerging as a star. This was LeBron's first season back in Cleveland with a very young Kyrie that was pretty much unproven at the time, and he had just lost Kevin Love in the series prior against Boston with Kelly Olynyk, so it was a lot of pressure. Cleveland fell down 2-1 against Chicago. In Chicago, LeBron was playing terrible in that game 4, but when it mattered most, he came up with the money and he hit the shot. And after that, in those next 2 games, Chicago didn't win another game, and Cleveland went back to the finals, as we all know. Then I can fast forward to the 2016 NBA Finals, but we all know what happened. Klay Thompson got comfortable, started talking trash. Draymond was talking trash, all this stuff. And then Cleveland came back down from 3-1 and they won the NBA championship. I'ma always say this, bruh. Unless the lead is like comfortable, like a 3-0 lead or something that's like unimaginable coming back from. I thought the finals was, but obviously it wasn't for LeBron. I'm never comfortable if I'm up. Like, that plays to his advantage. Then we can go to the 2018 season. Cleveland, they're doubted. The team has been traded. It's a whole new roster. All these young players, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance, all these young guys, and they fall down 2-1 to Indiana. Then in game 5, bro, even if you don't like LeBron, bro, you just have to give him his credit. Like, you just have to. He takes on the challenge of guarding Victor Oladipo, a fast, jetty, healthy Victor Oladipo. He guards him, blocks his shot, then comes down and hit the game-winning 3 and wins the game, or wins the series in 7 games. Like, down 0-1, down 2-1, still won the series. Then against Boston, and this is another one that I feel like people don't give him his credit for. Like, I know it was no Kyrie, I know it was no Gordon Hayward, but just the circumstances alone, give this man his flowers. You fall down 0-2 against Boston. Now, in my opinion, it would have been very, very easy for LeBron to just lay down and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to lose to Golden State regardless. They have a way better team than me. I don't want to add another finals loss, so let me just tank, get my ass up out of here and get ready to go to LA and take, another finals loss off my record. But they came back from down 0-2. After falling down 0-2, they win 4 of the next 5 games. And just look at what LeBron averaged from game 2 to game 7. Some people say he tanked game 1 and he didn't care, and he did have a bad game 1. Look at what he did from game 2 to game 7. Bro, it's amazing. Then last year, I'm not even going to detail that because we all know they fell down 0-1 against Portland, 0-1 against Houston, and they came back. But I'll just say this and leave y'all with this. Every series that LeBron has been down that he hasn't lost, which was the NBA Finals, one against Dallas, one against San Antonio, and the 3 against Golden State, in the last 10 years, every series he's been down, bro, he's won. Every series besides the one he's lost against the Finals. And I know that might sound like, bro, that's not fair, but I'm just making a point. Don't get too caught up into LeBron falling down to the Suns or falling down to maybe the Nuggets next series because, bro, it doesn't really mean much. I said this in that trap video and it still stands. LeBron being down plays into his advantage. In my opinion, that's when he's best. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to get up and get too happy about being up a game or maybe even 2 or maybe even 3. If you guys like this video, like the video. Like I said, man, Lakers in 6, probably 5 now with Chris Paul being so damn hobbled. If y'all like the video, follow all my social media sites. Do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.